Did you Grace Millane? Okay. Jesse Kempson, you're under arrest.
I've always thought that if it wasn't Grace, it was going to be someone. What we do know is he's a liar.
While the likes of traveling or dating are fun and are things that most of us will do at least once in our lifetime, there are situations that raise questions about the dangers of online dating and the safety of solo female travel. Unfortunately, one of these situations is the case of Grace Millane. Join us as we delve into her story and the investigation that followed her disappearance. This takes place in Auckland, New Zealand. Auckland is a large city in the North Island of New Zealand, best known for its waterfront seafood restaurants and bars, and as well for its dazzling skyline. The city is a paradise for travelers and adventurers alike, with its volcanic islands, amazing beaches, strong art scene, and activities such as bungee jumping, zip lining, or hiking. In the center of the city, the iconic Sky Tower, the focus of many events, has views over the Viaduct Harbor, which is lined with bars and cafes. Here is where Grace would meet for the first time the one that would change the course of her young life forever. Grace Emmy Rose Millane was born on December 2, 1996, and lived in the small town of Wickford in Essex, England. Her loving parents, David and Gillian, raised her to be a smart, brave, and caring young woman, ready to spread her wings into the world and pursue her dreams. She grew up along with her brothers, Declan and Michael. In September 2018, Grace graduated from University of Lincoln, earning her degree in advertising and marketing. Described by her close ones as friendly and free-spirited, Grace worked as a part-time job during university to save up for a year-long travel around the world that she wanted to take after graduation. A little time before leaving for the much-expected trip, she posted on Twitter, "Less than a mountain counting," betraying her excitement for the adventures that were to come. Outside of being ambitious and determined, Grace also had a creative side and was very talented at drawing and painting. Her creations can still be seen on her website and her Facebook page as a reminder of the wonderful person she was. Doing as planned, Grace packed her bags and headed off to the first destination on her list in South America, where she had stayed for 6 weeks. The 21-year-old visited numerous sites around Chile, Patagonia, and Peru, many that her own mother visited as well in her youth. Like any other traveler, she took the opportunity to learn about the history and culture of the places and befriended other travelers along the way. Throughout her travels, Grace reaches out daily to her parents and to brothers and sends them photos and messages about her adventures. On November 20, 2018, she flew to New Zealand, where she traveled around the Upper North Island. 10 days later, on November 30, she arrived in Auckland and checked in at Base Backpackers Hostel, where she stays in a room with 3 others. Being a solo traveler, Grace was looking forward to meet new people and make new friends. In the same day, she matches with 26-year-old Jesse Kempson on Tinder, a well-known dating app. Born in 1992 in Wellington, New Zealand, Kempson's childhood was marked by his parents' divorce when he was 9 years old. His mother moved abroad shortly after. At 21, he moved out of his family home after multiple arguments and accusations about him stealing and consistently lying. Looking deeper into his past and the claims of those around him, Jesse Kempson was described as being a pathological liar and a failure. While he was trying to pass as a successful businessman, an all-black rugby star, or even a gang member, the truth was that he had trouble maintaining jobs like bartender or phone salesman. Unfortunately, all these red flags were unbeknownst to Grace or anyone else meeting him for a first time. The man opened the conversation with Grace through the app, asking her how she is and what are the plans for the weekend, to which Grace discloses that her birthday celebration is just the next day. However, manipulating the conversation and finding out that Grace does not have any plans for the day, the man asks her to meet for cocktails during the evening. Hesitant at first, Grace agrees to meet up with Kempson at Sky City. Most part of the date is captured on CCTV. Grace leaving the safety of her hotel the moment she first meets the depraved man, serving drinks and chatting traveling, all these moments have been captured on camera. Throughout the evening, Grace texts her best friend giving her information about the guy she just met. Unfortunately, the next day a new message from Grace never came. The pair has changed multiple locations through the night, from a Mexican restaurant to a busy pub. As though the conversation seemed a bit cold and fragile at the beginning, the two appear to have warmed up to each other as hours were passing by. Around 9:20 p.m., as Grace leaves the table possibly to go to the restroom, Jesse leaves a comment on her Facebook profile picture, saying beautiful, very radiant. This very message is what drew the police's attention towards him. After they finish their drinks, the two arrive at City Life, a complex with service apartments where Kempson lived. They get into the elevator and then down the hallway, disappearing from the range of CCTV cameras. Sadly, this is the last time that Grace Millane is seen alive. Later, around 8 in the morning, the man has texted another woman that he had matched with on Tinder to confirm the time of their date in that afternoon. He then left to the supermarket, where he bought cleaning supplies, and to a warehouse, from where he purchased a grey big suitcase. In the meantime, Grace's phone was bombarded with messages and best wishes from her loved ones on the occasion of her birthday. Sadly, none of them received an answer. Her family grew worried about her well-being when she failed to respond to any of their attempts to contact her. On December 5th, they filed a missing person report. Police starts making inquiries and reached out to Kempson after seeing his message left on Grace's Facebook page on December 1st. When first asked, the man lied about the way the events have unfolded and sustained that he and Grace went their separate ways after their date at Sky City. The media is involved in Grace's search, and her distraught father flies to Auckland to be close to the investigation. As he addresses the public, he pleads for anyone with information to come forward. By December 8th, the police is convinced that foul play was involved and that Grace is no longer alive. The heartbreaking news is announced through media. Kempson is brought in once more for interrogation. However, this time he is being read his rights and put into arrest. He eventually broke down and told the police everything about Grace's whereabouts and the events from that fateful night and the days that followed. While Grace was still lying in his room, the evidence in CCTV footage shows the man hiring a rug doctor machine, which is believed that he used to deep clean the carpet to erase all traces. Obviously, this was not the case, and it was revealed when the investigators have used luminol on the carpet, which is a substance that shows body fluids under UV light. Later, he gets a trolley from the hotel lobby and takes it to his room. He then leaves, carrying 2 suitcases, and puts them in the car that he rented earlier in that day. As December 3rd rolls in, he gets into the loaded car and drives towards the Waitakere Ranges. On his way, he stops and buys a shovel and 4 bolts. One day after her 22nd birthday, Grace Millane is left in a shallow grave covered by branches. Her body is found by the police 6 days later. It was determined that high pressure was applied for 5 to 10 minutes around her neck area. Following a 2-week trial, Kempson was found guilty on November 22, 2019, and was convicted of a total of 9 total charges and sentenced to life in prison with a minimum non-parole period of 17 years. This terrible event has left the entire New Zealand heartbroken and in disbelief. During a press conference, the Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, offered apologies to Grace's family for failing to keep their loved one safe. Grace's father later said to media that he hopes his daughter's passing doesn't deter anyone from realizing their dreams and travel to discover the world. Sadly, he as well passed in 2020. While nothing can erase what has already been done, we hope that our stories can keep the light open for the ones departed from us too soon and bring awareness of the dangers that might lurk in unexpected places. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing if you would like to hear other similar stories. Meantime, we would like to know what is your opinion about solo traveling. Have you ever done it or plan to do it? As well, did you ever use a dating app? Please let us know in the comment section down below. See you next time.